I am a little disappointed in these Rimowa suitcases, and let's chat a little bit today about why. By the way, welcome back to my channel, The You in Fashion. My name's Megan. On my channel, we discuss fashion, luxury, handbags, and lifestyle. If you're interested in any of those topics, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notifications bell down below so you don't miss any of my content. My goal with this channel is to hopefully help you find the you in fashion, so let's go ahead and get started. As you guys know, I am crazy when it comes down to researching things and researching products before I purchase them. Because when you're talking about this price point, you really want to do your research. So I watched a lot of YouTube videos. However, we don't have a local Rimowa store here. So I've been hearing about Rimowa for years, and I was really interested in upgrading my luggage. But as I said, I'd never been able to see one in person, simply just videos that I'd watched online, and I wasn't really confident in it. But then the stars all aligned. We were coming back from Disney. Up until this point, as you guys know, in my pack with me from Paris, had just been using my TJ Maxx luggage that I bought the year I got married, which was 2017, and that's actually what I took when we went on our honeymoon to Mexico. But up until now, I had really never had an interest on really upgrading my luggage. As you guys know, usually I focus on handbags, so that's where most of my money typically goes. But after our recent trip to Disney, I had a really difficult time with rolling my luggage. For some reason, I think at the Orlando airport, maybe they have more carpet than the Atlanta one or the previous airports I've been to. I'm not really sure, but it's really difficult to roll it around. So much so that my husband ended up having to roll my check-in luggage. But when you buy luggage, of course, you don't necessarily want to have to pull it, tug it. You want to actually be able to carry your own luggage, and I want to be able to wheel it around with a good sense of ease. Then I happened to be in Bloomingdale's when we got back, just looking around, and what do you know? They have this new Rimowa showcase. So they have a few of the suitcases, different sizes, different colors on display. And I spoke with the sales associate. Of course, they were saying this is really recent. They just recently started stocking Rimowa in Bloomingdale stores. So I was super excited. At this point, I started doing more and more research, watching more and more videos about Rimowa, what the benefits are to having one of these suitcases, some of the price points, some of the colors. And then I went back ready to do my shopping, ready to pick out my Rimowa case. When I get there, I picked up this one first. So this is the carry-on size, and I chose this one because it was orange. I didn't see it on the website. I felt like it was a fun pop of color, and I bought this one home with me. But then, of course, in my mind, I'm like, well, I need obviously check-in luggage too. I can't just have this one suitcase and not have the check-in to match. So then that's when I purchased this one here, which is the check-in large size. So they did not have the white color though in our Bloomingdale's. So I was able to call the New York Bloomingdale's, and they were actually able to ship it to me for free, which I felt like was really nice. It actually got here pretty quickly. I probably went to the store around Monday, and this was here by Friday. So I felt like that was pretty good timing, and I was really thankful that they could ship things from any store to your home. So that was really nice. Now, backing up. So when I went in the store, they have it, as you can see, just the lights are shining on it. You're in this ambiance. You feel really happy and satisfied with it. And then I got it home, and this is where I started to have my issues. So unfortunately, the material, it is supposed to be one of the strongest polycarbonate materials for a suitcase. I know that, I'm aware of that, but it looks honestly very plasticky. And even up against my TJ Maxx suitcases that I purchased back in 2017 for probably $60-70, it didn't really look that much more luxurious, that much more like, oh my gosh, I finally got my Rimowa suitcase. I'm so happy with it. It looks so sophisticated and it looks so luxurious. I'm just so happy to have it, which left me to my first point in the beginning of this video with quite a bit of disappointment about my purchase, unfortunately. So here's where I think that I went wrong. First of all, I think I should have gone with more neutral colors. So I love the orange. I think it was a pop of color, but as I started doing more research and saw long term you have to consider that this is luggage. So I feel like with my handbags, I'm so used to keeping them close and I'm so used to keeping them in good shape because I'm able to have so much control over them. But I understand that especially with check-in luggage, you don't really have that much capability to keep it looking new and nice for so long. And with the orange, obviously I'll have it closer to me, hopefully easier for long term to be able to keep the carry-on looking nice longer. I had to think to myself, how practical is the orange long term? When in the next 10 years, because for the price of this luggage, I'm going to have it for at least 10 years. Am I going to look at these pieces and feel like they still match me, still feel like they are going to stand the test of time for years and years and years to come? Because as you guys know, that's something really, really, really important to me when considering buying luxury goods is, am I going to be able to have them for a long time? Are they going to be relevant for a long time? Because we're spending quite a bit on these pieces. I'm not going to insult your intelligence here. Obviously, when I compare these side by side, I know that my TJ Maxx luggage, which was much more at a reasonable cost, and the materials are nowhere near what Rimowa provides in their polycarbonate option. But when you have them side by side, this was my concern. You can't really tell the difference between the two. So they both look, to be honest, pretty nice to me side by side. If anything, in the colors that I got, I felt like it looked even a little bit more plasticky. I was really struggling with seeing if I'm already feeling like this, how am I going to feel about it a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line? So I talked about color earlier. I likely should have gotten the set in black. But then when I thought through that, as you guys can see, I bounce through thoughts a lot on what I want, what I don't want, what I think would be best. I see that a lot of people get the Rimowa Essentials, which are what these are called. I probably should have said that sooner, but these are the Rimowa Essentials. They're polycarbonate, they are supposed to be lighter, and they are supposed to have a little bit more stretch and give than their traditional Rimowa suitcases in the aluminum. So that's originally why I chose these in the first place. I wanted something that was a little bit lighter. I wanted something, because you guys know I like to pack a lot, that fit a little bit more of my clothing and things like that and had a little bit more give to it. So that's why I went with these instead of the aluminum from the beginning. But coming back to color, so I likely should have gone with black, but I understand why people maybe don't go for these colors when it comes to the essential line, because you do want it to last you long term. And obviously white, although it is so beautiful right now, that's the thing, I saw it on their website and I was like, that white looks so good. And the white was actually harder to find. So I went with the white. But then once I got home and really started thinking about it, could you imagine makeup on the handles? Could you imagine just like the scratches or the scrapes or the colors that are going to start coming across this fresh white suitcase? So I can see why people typically go with the black. Now again, it does come in the matte and the gloss. So this one, as you can see, is the gloss finish. The matte colors actually scratch a little bit easier because they have a coating on there that makes them the matte. So if you scratch, you are going to see the white underneath coating, where the gloss, it should be the same color all the way through. So maybe even a glossy, darker color would be the best choice. And then with the orange, I probably should have gotten matching suitcases, let's be honest, right? Because when years and years and years down the line, my husband was like, are you gonna want 2 suitcases that don't even match? They're just 2 different colors that you have sitting in our back room. And I was like, okay, fair enough. I probably should have gotten the same color, but I wanted to be fun. I wanted a pop of color, but I probably should have gotten black in both. Black, I do feel like when I look at that, I like that it looks a little bit more sleeker, a little bit more luxurious, I would say, than the pop of orange color that I actually purchased. The check-in large is pretty large. I was a little bit pleasantly surprised on how large. It comes up to about my hips when I'm standing beside it, and the carry-on comes up about to my knees there. FYI, I am about 4 feet 11 inches for reference. As you can see as well, the wheels are super smooth. It just glides across the floor. It is really, really, really nice. It does have adjustable links for the handles as well. Going back to some of the side-by-side shots here, I did put it side by side my luggage that I already currently have. As you can see, the material looks pretty similar. Once you open the luggage up though, you do notice some differences. In my suitcase that I got from TJ Maxx back in the day, it literally just has the 2 clamps on top where you button it closed, where the Rimowa do have their compression mechanisms, which I think are actually really nice. And most people in the reviews did say that you can pack quite a bit in these suitcases because you can put all your clothes in and then compress them down. So definitely a pro that I'll give Rimowa when it comes to that innovation and the compression mechanism that they have there. In comparison to my TJ Maxx luggage is that it does not have the same closure. So it doesn't have the area there that you can lock into place. And it also does not have a zip compartment. So keep in mind that you have the dividers on both sides, which can make it a little bit difficult to keep smaller items outside of clothes. They have a small zip pocket on the top and a small little zip pouch on the other side. But when it comes down to being able to have pockets, you may want to go with another piece of luggage in that case. Another pro, I will say in comparison, obviously the wheels are a lot better. That's what one of the things Rimowa clings to as something that they are the best at is their wheels. And I will agree, they do feel like butter. Is that enough for you to spend the price difference? Not sure. Obviously, if that was one of the things I was looking for when it came time to purchasing another suitcase, that's definitely going to be on my pro list. Now, as far as cons of the suitcase, as I said, the look of the suitcase. So that leads me to my next point, their classic aluminum case. And here's maybe why I didn't do that from the beginning. First of all, Bloomingdale's did not have the aluminum cases on display for you to be able to look at. So I went with what they had available, what I could see, what I could touch. Secondly, as I was saying, what I had read about the aluminum cases is they didn't fit as much, they were slightly heavier, they didn't give you as much give, and they were heavier, therefore easier to maybe overweigh at the airport, have to pay fees, things like this, where these are supposed to be lighter than those. So that's why I originally went with these. But then looking back, when it comes down to luggage that I'm going to have for the next 10 years, I really have to consider what I'm going to look at and see. This actually looks luxurious. This looks like something I can see that I put my money into. This looks like something that I can't just go to TJ Maxx and replicate it. And I feel like the aluminum cases definitely do that more, which is why I can see why more people invest in those maybe than the essential cases. That is just based off of my research. When it came down to looking for other videos, I did see, of course, more of their classic case videos than I did of the essential cases. It was much harder to find one of those videos, which is another reason I wanted to film this for you guys today, give you guys some further information about the essential cases, some additional colors. It was really hard for me to find kind of a dedicated video other than a couple on the essential cases. So in case you're interested, hopefully you got some information from this video. Talking about the differences between the aluminum and the polycarbonate. The aluminum version is going to be harder wearing, but you are going to see the dents and the scratches more in the aluminum. The polycarbonate does have the risk of cracking, but you likely won't see as much of the denting or as much of the scratches in the polycarbonate version. So using that to weigh a little bit of the pros and cons of which case may be best for you, I personally really like the aluminum version in the carry-on, and then doing more of the polycarbonate for a check-in luggage, so I'm not worried about the denting so soon with that type of luggage for that price point. So you guys, if you have these cases, let me know what you guys think have been the best experience for you, maybe long-term with your Rimowa luggage. They come with this nice cute little booklet. Inside you can open it up here and it says Rimowa there. It does come with your little suitcase tag and a sticker. And I thought that that was really cute. I liked that a lot. I loved the packaging. I thought that was really nice and felt really nice and luxurious and let you know you were paying, you know, for this price point for a piece of luggage. It also came with the Rimowa dust bag here as well, which I thought was really nice too. With the stickers, that was another thing that went through my mind. I was particularly looking for the Paris one when I ordered this one. So I went on the website and they did not have the Paris sticker in stock. And the reason I'm putting this in here is because unlike Bloomingdale's, the Rimowa website is completely different than the Rimowa stores. So I had purchased the New York sticker. Of course, you guys know I went to New York a couple years ago. I'll link that video down below, but I wanted the Paris sticker. I had ordered the New York sticker already. And when I called the store, they said, okay, no problem. We'll ship it to you. You just have to have an account. So I'm like, cool, no problem. Of course, Bloomingdale's doesn't count because that's a third party, but I ordered another sticker from the online store. So they then let me know though that the stores are not connected to Rimowa.com. And I was a bit disappointed in this for a couple of reasons. One, we do not have a Rimowa here in Atlanta. Bloomingdale's, I think Neiman Marcus also carries it. Those are the only stores where you're actually going to be able to physically come in and actually be able to see the luggage. But it was really frustrating because they're like, for you to be able to be shipped anything from one of the stores, you have to go into one of the stores. You guys let me know if you're more familiar with this, but when I did this store locator, I saw some are going to be in California, Florida, and New York. None of those are close enough for me to be able to drive there on a whim and purchase something so that I can have things shipped. So I just wanted to give you guys that little bit of FYI. Those are two separate entities. And that's another shock to me. We live in Atlanta. We have one of the biggest airports being Hartsfield-Jackson. We are literally the Delta hub, so I don't understand why there's not a Rimowa here. I don't have that answer, but let's go ahead and move on. All in all, would I purchase Rimowa? I do think that a nice luxury case is worth paying the extra price for. I do still believe that. I will have to, of course, let you know the full answer to that question on whether I feel like there's a big difference on Rimowa as a whole. I personally, if you're going to go with the essential cases, I would consider going with a more neutral color or something that's going to wear over time a little bit better and longer. And I would also just try to go in, see the actual cases, see if you like them, because even on this video, I know the representation is not going to be able to deliver the same as you being in the store and actually seeing them on yourself, but I hope that I've given you guys a little bit further information about them. As I said, some of the big pros to these are they do feel pretty light, I would say. I would also say that the wheels are noticeably better. One thing I also wanted to mention as far as one of the cons on the suitcases for me were actually the locking mechanism on this one. So that was the second piece that I was really excited about seeing, was actually the locking mechanism of this, because my previous luggage doesn't have any way for you to be able to formally lock it. So I thought that was something really cool, something really additive to a new nice luxury piece of luggage that I would be purchasing. And let me just show you that locking mechanism here. So the way that you're actually going to open this is you're going to pop it open like this. That pops these out, and then you of course unzip it from there. So your locking mechanism connects to your zipper. You basically turn these in and then they pop right inside of there, and then you're able to set your code there. Now, the big con for me on this was I thought that this was just going to look a lot more sophisticated, a lot more like an actual lock. I think I was comparing it though to their classic aluminum cases. Those look very well done, very sophisticated, very like you're locking up something at that point, right? Like that's what I was expecting, and I just didn't feel like I got that through the luggage. Obviously you have the zipper here where the aluminum one seals shut so that it is waterproof, where this one obviously it is not that, because you do have the zipper and the kind of, I guess you would say, cloth material there. But that was something else that I wanted to point out in this video of maybe a con and something that I think their classic aluminum cases would have. Now, with that being said, I feel like it would be wrong of me to not say that there is a pretty significant price difference, with this one costing about $500 to $600 less than the aluminum version. So if price is also something that you're considering, this is definitely going to be the more conscious price point as well. These are definitely more affordable than their classic aluminum cases, which I could definitely see as a pro as well. A little bit of information that I found out too about Bloomingdale's carrying Rimowa, just FYI, what they have in store is different than what they have online in some cases. So that's why she was telling me, because I went in and I was like, I was looking for the orange online and I couldn't find it on the Bloomingdale's website. And that's when she let me know that actually the online does at times have different inventory than in the store. So I wanted to put that in here as well in case you see something online. Feel free to call a couple of the stores if you're looking for a particular color and see if they have some of the other colors that you like in stock, because they may actually have a different selection. Anyway, guys, that is my video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. Please make sure you subscribe below if you like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!